You ever pick someone up and instantly feel like you just opened the wrong door in the dark? Like the air in your car changes and your instincts start yelling, "Nope." Yeah. This ride started as a loud Halloween pickup and ended with me staring at my back seat, shaking, because one passenger was never supposed to be there. Don't blink on this one. The last minute is the part that still messes with my head. Uber Midnight Stories, and I swear this ride changed me. I'm Jason, early 30s. I drive nights because the city is quieter and the money's better. On Halloween, though, quiet is a joke. Every bar is packed, every street is a parade, and half your passengers smell like candy and cheap fog machine smoke. That Thursday night, it was pouring off and on, not a storm, but that steady rain that turns streetlights into smeared gold. I was about to call it when a request popped up near downtown. Pickup name, Lena. 5 stars, 4 riders. Location, a big old warehouse district that turns into Party Central on Halloween. I pulled up to the curb and saw them immediately. 3 people in costumes, laughing too loud under the awning of a club. One was dressed as a vampire with a plastic cape. Another had on a glittery witch hat and neon green nails. The third was a skeleton onesie. Normal Halloween energy. Then there was a fourth. He stood a few steps behind them in the rain, totally still. Tall, narrow shoulders, long black coat, and a mask. Not a cheap party mask. This thing looked heavy. Pale porcelain face, smooth like a doll, with tiny cracks painted around the cheeks. No mouth, just a blank oval where the lip should have been. The eyes were dark holes, like there was nothing behind them. The witch girl waved at me. "Uber for Lena?" "Yep, hop in." They piled into the back seat, still laughing, dripping rain all over my mats. Vampire and skeleton took the far side. Witch girl slid in the middle. The masked guy climbed in last. Quiet, careful, like he was stepping into someone else's house. When he sat, the whole vibe in the car dipped. The laughter didn't stop, but it got thinner somehow, like sound in a hallway. I glanced at the mirror. Something about him wasn't right. Not just the mask, the way he sat. Perfectly upright, hands folded in his lap, head angled slightly down, like he was waiting to be told what to do. "Where we headed?" I asked. Witch girl leaned forward. "Cedar Ridge Apartments, Building C. We're all together." She said all, but her eyes flicked to the masked guy for half a second, like she was checking he'd heard. I started the trip. Within 5 minutes, vampire guy was telling some story about a haunted house they'd been to. Skeleton was laughing over him. Witch girl was texting. The masked guy didn't move, didn't breathe loud, didn't even turn his head. My cat, Salem. Yeah, I do night shifts with my black cat riding up front sometimes, lifted his head from the passenger seat and stared straight back at the masked guy. Ears flat, tail still. Salem never does that. He's friendly with everyone. Your friend okay?" I asked lightly. Vampire guy laughed. "Oh, he's fine. He's just committed to the character." Skeleton added, "Yeah, he doesn't talk much tonight. It's part of the bit." Witch girl smiled, but it wasn't a real smile. "He's with us." And that was it. No name, no joke, just he's with us. Rain thickened as we hit the freeway. Wipers thumped. The city lights slid by like wet paint. The back seat was alive with chatter, except for that one dead spot behind me. Then the radio turned on by itself. No music, just low static. I didn't hit anything. My hand wasn't even near the console. Static crackled, and a voice cut through for 1 second. "Multiple casualties, Halloween event, warehouse fire." Then it snapped off. I sat up straighter. What the hell? In the mirror, vampire and skeleton were still talking like nothing happened. Witch girl was frozen, phone mid-air. The masked guy lifted his head a tiny bit. My cat growled, low in his throat, a sound I didn't even know he could make. "You guys hear that?" I asked. Skeleton squinted. "Hear what?" "The radio! Witch Girl interrupted too quick. Just ignore it. Old signal. Can you keep driving?" Her voice had a tremor in it now. I nodded, but my eyes stayed on the mirror. That's when I noticed something else. The masked guy wasn't in the reflection. The seat where he was sitting showed wet fabric, a faint outline of a coat, but no face, no mask, like the mirror couldn't catch him. I blinked hard and looked again. Same thing. I told myself it was angle, lighting, rain, any normal explanation, but my skin was buzzing. We exited the freeway and headed into a quieter residential area. The jokes in the back had stopped. Vampire guy was scrolling on his phone now, silent. Skeleton was looking out the window. Witch Girl kept twisting her rings. Only the masked guy stayed the same. Still, upright, head slightly bowed. The GPS said 10 minutes left when a figure stepped into the road ahead, right in my lane. A woman in a long white dress, hair plastered to her face, bare feet on wet asphalt. I slammed the brakes. My car skidded, wipers screeching. Salem yowled and dug his claws into the seat. The headlights flooded her, and she wasn't there anymore. No stumble, no run, just gone. Behind me, all three unmasked passengers gasped at once. Witch Girl whispered, "Don't stop!" My heart was punching my ribs. "You saw that too?" Nobody answered. The masked guy tilted his head toward the side window like he was listening to something outside the car. I drove on slower now, hands sweating. We reached Cedar Ridge Apartments. Tall blocks, half the windows dark, rain still ticking like fingers on glass. "Here's good," Vampire guy said, voice small. I pulled up to Building C. They all moved at once, doors opening, seatbelts clicking. But the masked guy didn't move. Witch Girl paused with her hand on the handle. "Come on," she said softly, not joking now. "It's time." No response. She swallowed, then climbed out. Vampire and Skeleton followed. Their feet splashed through puddles as they rushed toward the entrance without looking back. I turned in my seat. "Hey man, we're here." The masked guy sat there for a beat. Then he slowly lifted both hands and pressed them to the sides of the mask. I expected straps, elastic, something. There was nothing. His fingers went searching along the edges like he was checking where it met his skin. And then he tried to pull. The mask didn't budge. Not even a millimeter. He pulled harder, his shoulders tensed. The porcelain face stayed fixed, like it belonged there. A dry, desperate sound escaped him. Not a voice exactly, more like air forced through a throat that didn't remember how to speak. I felt my stomach turn. "Dude, stop! You're gonna hurt." He snapped his head toward me. The eye holes were pitch black, and I heard a voice. Not from him, from my own mouth. Same tone, same rasp. "I want to go home." I froze, because I didn't say that. He held still, staring straight at me through those empty holes. Salem hissed, back arched. My app buzzed. Trip completed. I didn't end it. I looked down at my phone, and the ride history was blank, like the trip never existed. No Lena, no 4 passengers, no payment pending, nothing. I looked back up. The masked guy was gone. No door sound, no movement. The seatbelt was still clicked into its latch, pulled tight across air. I just sat there, breathing shallow, rain hammering the roof. Then my headlights caught something on the wet seat. A small porcelain chip. I reached back and picked it up. It was warm. On the way home, I kept replaying everything. The radio, the woman in white, the empty mirror. At home, I couldn't sleep, so I searched warehouse fire, Halloween downtown, because that radio voice wouldn't leave my head. An article came up from 7 years ago. A Halloween party in the warehouse district. A fire started during a costume event. 4 people died near the exit. Most of the survivors said they remembered one thing clearly. A man in a porcelain doll mask